All right, traders, welcome to today's recap. It is Christian from Tribeca Trade Group, and today is Tuesday, February 12th, a couple days before Valentine's Day. It is snowing out in New York City, so this will be a quick video because I was doing a video yesterday for our webinar, pros and cons versus trading options versus stocks, and the mic for whatever. There's no audio on the recording, so I'll be doing that over, and I'm gonna just make that out. It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be a member only, but a couple people asked me on Twitter if I could go ahead and put that out for the public. So I'm gonna do that. It'll be a quick. I think last night it was a 50-minute 50 webinar, and I'll try to make it about a half hour. So I'll go through some concepts and I'll go through them quickly. And we had some questions last night, so no questions, so allow me to go through a little bit quicker. But before we do that, let me go through today's market action. So pretty nice. I was on the Benzinga show earlier talking about, it was late in the afternoon. We were talking about, what did you do today in terms of trading? For me, for these days, the past couple days, yesterday was a sleeper of a day. We just didn't have any market action. It seemed like people were overreacting to it, just like a little bit of today's market action, people overreacting, looking at the upside as well. But, it was just a very dull market yesterday, and it really didn't give you any signals, just was, digestion. And sometimes we have that. Sometimes we have that for weeks. So it's important just to not make decisions. The famous saying is don't short a dull market. We were kind of trapped in the middle between. I liked this candle on Friday where we held value. It looked like we were going to go lower, and we held. The value areas are very important for me. So in all the major indices, I always go over the indices first. I don't really trade the indices, but I go over them first just to look at the overall kind of forecast. But so we're back to we're going to be at the 200-day moving average, which everybody seems to be looking at. Nasdaq, let's look at how Nasdaq is, and we can look at the Qs as well. But it's going to, the same, very similar picture technically. Nasdaq and S&P, stuck between the top of value as well, which is right here, 166.06, and the 200-day moving average, right? So we're starting to go. We're back above. We lost this 5-period moving average for a day or two, but we didn't really violate any support. So we're back above that, and for now, good shape until something else that we don't know happens. But you kind of just carry on, and if you trade a lot, for me, when we have days where we're up 1.5%, just kind of shifting to what I did today, is I take targets. I take positions off. I don't really add unless I really, really want to get into something. For the most part, for the especially first 3 quarters of the day, I was a net seller of everything, right? Selling into strength. Now I still have positions on. It doesn't mean I get out of everything. It just means you take the gift that you were given. We don't get that many plus one 1%, 1.5 days. This market will always give you a chance to kind of come in and buy lower. I don't think we're in a screaming market. I think it's going to be, a gradual pace. That's, my only prediction. I don't make predictions, but I think we'll probably move this year in a gradual pace, and you'll be given chances, I would think, to, come back. So I'll talk about some of my positions. What we did today. Let me start with DHI. Nice to see this position work out, right? They've been buying calls. It almost got tiring to mention that there was a call buyer in DHA. There was a nice article that came out. I'm not sure what the catalyst was for the move, to be honest, other than the JOLTS report came out. I think there was a couple other small data points, but there was someone as well that came out and was really positive about housing. And if I can find it quickly, I put the article in here. Oh, I probably have it here in our Slack system, but let me just move this around and see if I can find this in our news channel, which I could usually do. Unless it's frozen, which no, I don't think it's frozen. But here, somebody by the name of Zellman. I don't know who this is. Zellman and Associates. and they put out a nice chart. This was an article on Bloomberg. If you're not familiar with if you haven't been in our trading room, we have kind of, it's very, very organized. This is all the news that we put out, pre-market, any really important data points. I put a summary of the option activity around midday. But any type of really market moving notes, and that's why it's called news, right? We also have group chat, which is where all of our conversations are, where I'm kind of posting things real time. And yeah, said this analyst said that there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and mentioned some builders. So I think that also got the group to go. Keep in mind, I had not in last week's newsletter, but I was talking about the ITB ETF that sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for these things to get going. But ITB was the best performing sector today, up 4.4%. You could see I kind of have I think I called it about a week ago an abstract inverted head and shoulders. So this is back to the 200-day moving average, and you could basically use this stop down here. But I think for DHI, for my trade that I'm in, and I restructured this. I was originally in March options, which lost money, and then I restructured it to August and made it into a winning trade. But I think $43. This is what's called the virgin point of control. This is where I will be holding and trying to get DHI for it. Now, granted, I took off a good portion of the trade, but if it comes back and we see an inside day or a check back to 39, that's where I can get back involved in the name. But I do think DHI might continue higher. It looks like there's a headline out on Bloomberg: Amazon GM to invest in electric truck maker Rivian. Interesting. Interesting headline there. Well, Tesla might be moving down on that. I don't own any Tesla, but anyway, just to kind of give you, we post everything that we do here. So, we're very transparent. Not like some people. I won't get negative, I promise. But some people will only post, or they don't post any trades on Twitter. They don't post any trades in their trading room. I don't know what they do. They like to just jump up and down about things after they happen. Lulu was a big trade that we put on as well last week. I'm in a call spread. It has not realized its overall value, but Lulu, really nice. Really nice move out of that. You could see how we set this up. Move out of that. Really nice. I called it a bull pennant, but really nice move. I put this trade on I think 2 days ago for Lulu. So went all the way through my upper strike. Now I just have to kind of sit and be patient, and I can get that trade to be full profits for that one. So what else did we do today for trading? Again, just a lot of managing of positions. You could see I don't have any entries on here. Oh, I did take one entry. I knew I took something. EWZ. So Brazil, I've been watching for a while. So again, I'm happy to go over what we do. So a bounce kind of. I wanted to make sure that the support was going to hold bottom of value and back in. And this is something that I may add to as we get a little bit higher. Might actually add to a winner. All right. Data was a winner. That's a trade that I put on after earnings. I thought that they had good numbers. Nice move back above the 50-day moving average, so I was able to take some of that trade off. Netflix. This was a trade I put on last week. Really interesting about the FANG stocks. I would have, I was saying yesterday that they just look asleep. They don't look like they have momentum. It's funny things with these FANG stocks. They will be dormant, and then all of a sudden they'll have a big day. So Netflix up 4. That's the only one that I'm in right now. I've kind of just been watching. I think Google is really tough. Google will just put you to sleep for weeks, and then we'll get some momentum to it. So it was up $25 today. It was up 2.3%. Again, I think you just have to kind of pick your spots and not over trade these. I mean, Amazon had a nice day today, but it's been really tough sledding. Not an easy chart. So right now, I thought Joe Fahmy had a great piece on Yahoo Finance yesterday. Talking about these names are in digestion mode, and there's other names that are moving. You go back to the software names. So we'll talk a little bit about. So Netflix was a nice winner for me. I had sold a put spread, bought a call spread. What else? ZS was a nice winner. I took some money off in this one today. I don't think it closed on the ties. Actually did, but 52-week high. It's a really nice one. LVS is another winner for me. Also, earnings trade that we did in Under Armour worked out perfectly. Las Vegas Sands, I'm waiting for this thing to get to the 200-day moving average. It's just a slow pace, and that's why I'm in cash. I'm in a stock position rather than losing money on theta, waiting for that to happen. I'm in a small Octa trade. That one made a little bit of money today, and a couple other things as well. I'm in a Baidu trade, small Baidu trade as well. Zoetti's made money. This is a run into earnings trade. So again, a lot of good things today. But yeah, the goal when this happens is basically try to take a decent chunk off into strength. A couple names that reported earnings after the close. Twilio was implying if you sold premium on this, congratulations. I think they were implying like a 16% move or something like that. Let's see. I should have this in the earnings channel. So I mentioned Slack, how organized we have this for traders to kind of come in. So Twilio is down, just ran too much into their quarter, and I think you just have to be realistic. I did not do any trade. The right trade would have been to do what would have been to sell premium. I just did not want to do that. 13.6% move. So no trade. The trades that I did, I did sell a little bit of premium, small trade in HubSpot. I did a long trade in Trip, which I may not be working. We'll see. I sold. They were implying a 10 move, so if it comes back to basically so flat, I'll win on this trade. Looks like Hubs is coming back. It did take out that version point of control down there. It looks like. And what else did I do for earnings? I traded a new one because again, what I'm looking for is earnings consistency. This SPSC. What do you think that is? Another enterprise software name. SPSC. I think it is up. It's not up that much, but good numbers. Good numbers there. Also, JCOM, another one in this space, had good numbers. They're up to 77. So again, it all depends on the expectations because most of these companies the software names are continuing to beat earnings, so really really strong. Earnings activity today. There's a handful of interesting activity today. Walmart they were buying the reasoning why so short term, but those are the February 22nd calls. Oops, this is yesterday. There we go. NXPI was the name. VKTX also saw some calls. A little bit of Burlington, a little bit of CAG. One that I don't have on here, which right 2 minutes before the close, was AYX. Again, another software play. They do report earnings, so maybe somebody's looking for this name to run into earnings. They report on 220. And they bought the March 75 calls. Nice little trade here, $343,000 of premium. Looks like it was a straight up buy. I like this chart very much, but I wasn't going to put something on like this. I like to think about what I'm going to put on and not just jump into a trade. But really nice trend, and it's going to come into the 20-day moving average. So it's got to get through top of value 72.30. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another software play that runs into earnings. That's Alteryx. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Again, I will be doing a webinar later, which I'll send out the recording for. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.